next to you, and always in my mind it was just two of us in the classroom. But I believe the only real fact that I can defend is that I once sat next to you and colored and made observations about the nature of the way you were coloring, and I was like, wow, he's like really precise. It's like, go on. What is he trying? Like, I remember thinking like, what's he trying to prove? It was like, what did I prove? Because first grade, you know what I'm saying? First grade is like, most kids in first grade are just like, you're holding, this is what I was doing, you're holding the crayon like this, like you're holding it like so you're gonna kill somebody, you're gonna like stab somebody with the crayon, and then it just makes contact with the paper and just moving. And I'm just like, yeah. And I look, you don't know what wheel is. And you're like, it's like really even. I'm like, oh, is he submitting this to a contest? Because I didn't know this was a contest, and now I need to try. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, this is just art time. I'm not interested in it. But I know that happened. But I'm not willing to stand by the fact that those two events coincided, and it was actually why we were being punished.
Well, it sounds like at least 3 events have been combined into one. You remember us coloring.
Yeah.
We know we met on the first day of first grade.
Had to.
And we know we got in trouble at some point at the same time.
Well, I'm sure that happened.
Okay. So those 3 things were compiled into one mythologized origin story. Is there any other part of this that we need to analyze, or is that it? I'm not gonna. Yeah, we're gonna come clean. It's gonna be now. I don't want to come back to this. Where it all started to fall apart. You know.
Yeah. Right.
This is what happened. The king, queen. It's all falling apart, including our friendship. I mean, and from that point on, so I'll just move on then, because I don't think there's anything.
Well, no.
From that point on, we were best friends, and I think the analysis of the rest of this episode will call that into question.
Well, the only thing I'll say is, I'm not changing the story at this point.
I'm not. Okay. Oh, yeah.
I want to establish for all of you listening
that
the next time you're listening to an interview or us talk to somebody and tell this story, we're going to say the exact same thing we've always said. Yeah. We're not going to change it and be like, really what happened was we just met in first grade. We're going to tell the entertaining, embellished mythology of our friendship, and we're going to tell it until the day we die.
And you know what? There'll be a little twinkle in our eye, because you'll know the truth. And nobody's getting hurt. Nobody's getting hurt, okay? Right? What's at stake here? Together.
What's at stake here, right?
We're all in this together.
Does it really matter?
If it comes out that it's all a sham, and it's not, by the way, we never said it was.
Well,
it's an amalgamation of
use that word.
It's an amalgamation of truth simplified into a compelling narrative. And if you want to mess that up, well, you're implicating yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, but so we're trusting you. And we're gonna keep telling that story. And I'm gonna have a hard time for the next year or so, but then I'll get over it. I'll probably forget this conversation.
Here's something.
Be cool.
Here's something that I'll go out on another limb here.
Do it.
And say that if this, you should analyze how this makes you feel if you're listening to this, because what you probably should understand is that the vast majority of news and history pretty much follows what we did.
Not only that.
You ever read the Bible?
Okay. Not only that, I would say take a hard look at your own experience and your own memories. Your memories are a recollection of memories. Every time you remember something, we talked about this, you're reconstructing the memory in your brain, and it evolves.
Yeah.
This is science.
This is science.
We're all in this together, like I was saying.
And at least we came clean.
Oh, you're so defensive right now. No, I feel good. I feel good about it.
Well,
I feel great.
I feel great.
We feel so great.
We feel great.
I can tell that we both feel great about it. We're so proud of ourselves. It is canon.
Let's talk a little bit about this T-shirt. You know, I was gonna put it on, but I'm a little cold in the studio right now. It looks good on the hanger. This is the Hot Dog is a Sandwich podcast T-shirt. You know, Mythical Kitchen. They have their own podcast. Hot Dog is a Sandwich. You know who else?
Josh and Nicole.
Josh and Nicole. You know who else has a podcast now? Trevor's got a podcast.
Of course he does.
Trevor talks too much.
Yeah, first episode with Brittany Broski's already out as of the release of this episode right now, fresh. Yeah, listen to Trevor talks too much. He's good at talking. Right from episode 1. Very proud of him.
He's
Very glad that we've done it.
got the gift of gab.
Taking full credit for everything he accomplished. So, Trevor talks too much. Hot Dog is a Sandwich. Expanding offerings of mythical podcasts. Get in where you fit in. You know?
I would like to talk a little bit about first impressions, as I remember.
Okay.
We've already talked a little bit about my impression of like how you coloring. But I actually did. I had to kind of dig back and think like, what do I remember thinking about Lane and meeting him? Now, I've already established that my MO was to. I didn't perceive you as timid, but I know that I definitely was not timid in terms of I threw myself at people, right? In a way that I don't do now. Like I'm more of an introvert, but I was a weird extrovert in like elementary school in the way that I would just like meet somebody and then within the first 5 minutes invite myself to spend the night at their house that night. With anybody. And so I was very drawn to.
Now I'm wondering if everything you're saying is an oversimplification. Like the first time you met him, you didn't invite yourself over.
That's an oversimplification.
It is.
But very, very early, like alarmingly early, usually in the first day, I would be like, hey, so like, what do you think about sleepovers? I don't, it's just I'd find a way to, and that's all true. So I was kind of evaluating like, oh, this person seems, there's something here, like this person seems like they'd be fun, or like we could have a good time together, right? So obviously, I thought that about you, because I'm pretty sure we had sleepovers in first grade. But here's the thing that I remember about you.
I find that hard to believe.
Okay, maybe I did.
It seems really early for me.
Okay. I remember thinking that you were very clean. Speaking of hygiene, that you were like very put together. Like you had this like, your hair was like somebody's, like he really is caring about like his hair and his clothes.
Somebody's combing
like
that hair.
his hair is combed. His clothes like match. Like someone is like laying them out, or he cares about it. Like, you know, I'm wearing like gray sweatpants and a gray sweatshirt. You're like, that's an outfit. I'm there. You know what I mean? And like, you're like, oh, I know, blue coat shirt and yellow coat pants, and like, you know what I'm saying? And I know this wasn't just first grade, but I remember thinking that it was like, but I didn't process it. You know, I'm first grade, so I'm looking back and thinking, like, what did you think about?
Do you remember on like even on the first day of a grade, would you? I mean, early on, would your parents put you in an outfit and take your picture?
No.
Yeah, every year, I would be putting an outfit, and my mom would take my picture with like new trapper keeper and lunchbox, and I'm standing in front of the closet, and you know, I'm going to school, and boy, this is really built up, and I don't know how I feel about it.
I think my parents were just happy.
My anus is very tight right now.
I think my parents were just happy to get us to school without dying.
You had an older brother too.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is old news to them. Yeah, the sweat. Just put on your sweats. It's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go out and you're gonna play some b-ball?
And I had a, I don't know if in first grade, I didn't have a buzz cut in first grade, but like, pretty early on, I was just like, they're just like, just head into the barbershop and put it on level 1. Me and my brother just had one. It's like, it was like a military family. But it really wasn't. It was a family that didn't care about just like, okay, well, you go to school, like, we're going to care, we care what you look like when you go to church. We care what you look like on picture day. Sorta? Sorta. But not really.
Yeah, for me, it's you know, I was an only child, and it was like, you know, my mom would was like, I was her little baby, so like she's like doing, you know, she's like everything's got to be right for little Linky, you know. But for you, it's like you're the second, and there's also two opinions in your house. So it's like even if your dad wanted to dress you up and your mom was like, oh, don't worry about it, let him wear his sweats, or vice versa.
I'm sure my dad was not
right.
let's dress. My dad was like,
I'm just giving, you know, I'm not trying to play into gender stereotypes here, but I'm just saying there's two opinions, and those opinions are distributed over two boys. Whereas me, it's one opinion that was not throttled, my mom's opinion, that I did not question. Like, okay, yeah, it's like, this is how things are done.
I also think it's a disposition too, because sure, we actually think about, like, Jesse and I have both had probably more opinions than we should have about, like, what our kids wear when they go places. You know what I'm saying? I think it might just be, oh yeah, I just like living in a more superficial culture or whatever. But it's not like, hey, bro, like, that doesn't match. Or like, your hair looks crazy right now. Okay. Those conversations didn't happen in my home. You know what I mean? It just didn't. It just that wasn't a part that I remember. Wasn't a part of it. It was kind of like, yeah, you're dressed and you're alive.
I'll tell you what wasn't a part of my life, and that was a part. I know that my hair was just combed straight.
A bowl cut.
It was combed straight forward.
Yeah.
There was no, but it was combed.
I remember thinking, his hair looks like it's cut by a lady. Like, you know, as a total generalization.
Yeah, it was. And now her name
not Rudolph Blanchard, who was just.
I will say, her name was Bobby though. So
oh, really?
She didn't have a man's name.
Okay. But scissors did not see my hair until 30, the age of 30.
Media pinche hora aquí, güey, pero ya pude, güey. No, no te vayas a caer, güey.